Hello everybody, I'm InTheLittleWood, also known as Martyn. Welcome back to the channel, and it's weird saying that because I haven't really posted properly on this channel in a number of years. So let me just very quickly explain what's going on with that. So I haven't really made a proper announcement about it yet, but for the meantime, InTheLittleWood on YouTube is going to solely have Fortnite content. It seems to be working. We're reaching almost 30 million views this month. It will basically last as long as the Fortnite hype is there, and I don't want to upload any other content like other games and stuff in case the algorithm gets all funny and YouTube just hits the kill switch on my channel. So that means that anything else at the moment is going to live right here on InTheLittleWood. So hopefully that clears that up for you. If in the future all the Fortnite stuff dies down, then I'll go back to being variety over there, but for now everything lives here, which is great. So today saw the release of the Pokemon Direct about Pokemon Sword and Shield, and what I wanted to do is I wanted to go through and sort of react to a few bits. I have just watched it, but it was literally on my second monitor playing as I was in the middle of recording a Fortnite video, so I only took in bits and pieces, so I haven't actually indulged everything just yet. And then of course I want to pause the video on occasion, speculate, get excited about things. So let's get to it. This is going to be a big old one taker, so if I stumble on my words, who cares? Let's go! So we've had the intro. Oh, there we go. The snap. So, of course, if you don't know, basically this version of Pokemon, or this world of Pokemon, known as the Galar region, is apparently set in a very United Kingdom kind of environment. And that seems to be reflected in the Pokemon that we're given, so we'll see more as we go on. Foggy London town, Birmingham, and there's us. That's our character as far as I can tell. Nice, there we go, Grookey. Is it called Baneri? And I can't remember what the water one's called. But they're all there. Nice. Some of these environments look really, really cool. We get an introduction to these two characters in a moment, which is great. Now, this is where I got initially thrown off. So, one thing that I absolutely love from Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee is the fact that you could see the Pokemon pottering about in the world. And I assume that was going to be a mechanic solely for that sort of type of game. So, my guess was they're going to go and re-release, like, you know, Gold and Silver in Let's Go versions, you know, and so on and so forth through the franchise. So, slowly basically play catch-up over the years to help, like, the more casual Pokemon Go style players get into the main franchise. But here it seems to be that he runs into the grass, then he gets the notification, and then he sprints over to it. So not too sure just yet, because there's footage that we'll see in a moment that will contradict that point. So let's carry on. Nice. There they are. Those are the three brand new Pokemon. We get a full introduction to them in just a moment, which is fine. The sheep one was very expected. We were even talking just before it all kicked off. And a friend of mine, Grian, said, I'm sure they'll do a sheep one for the Welsh. There we go. Some more of the new Pokemon. Not the fighter, but the bird, at least. And then here we go. Look how ridiculously huge the landscape looks. Like, that is massive, right? That is literally, like, it feels a bit like Breath of the Wild in terms of its scale. And I really hope that there's not just this one singular, like, you know, outland that's this big. I really hope that the world as a whole is this massive. Only, though, if you have decent movement abilities. Because so far we've been told about traveling between individual cities from city to city, like with a bird service. But I would like some open world exploration as well. Here we go. That is a big old backpack as well. Right, now here we go. Look, we've got a Beware and we've got some Wobbuffets just kind of in the tall grass, pottering around. Does that mean that we could walk over to them and, like, you know, interact with them? Look, again, I don't really know this Pokemon. Like, forgive me if I don't know some of the more recent generations. I was a person who stopped playing, I think, 3 or 4, and then I missed a few, and then I came back for Sun and Moon. So that's kind of my history with it. Look, again, sort of pottering about in the wild. We got these guys all knocking about as well. So they seem to be roaming in the wild. Like, maybe that instance we saw a moment ago of the one that it was, like, crawling in the bush. Maybe that was some different kind of instance. Like, maybe that was for looking maybe like a shiny Pokemon. Or maybe that was for a particular quest line or a storyline piece. We don't know. There we go. We've got a bike. Oh, my God. The bike goes on water. I didn't see that before. I genuinely didn't see that. There you go. I must have missed that when I was looking away. Is that the little, like, luchador Pokemon? It is, right? Nice. Got some fishing in there, shaking berries out the trees. And then these things are very, very interesting. So these beacons basically go to something known as, I think it was called a mega raid. We'll get the actual wording on that later on. But essentially, we're going to be able to go in with 3 other players. So there's 4 of you going in there. And you get to battle a literal gigantic Pokemon, which has become that huge because of something known as Dynamaxing, which is something that one of the professors is researching in this storyline. And I think you basically have the ability to capture it yourself, which it seems really interesting. There they are. So, this is what I want to touch on really quickly. So, the 4 of them gather at the location. So, I'm wondering if at any point, can you literally just jump into a world with 3 friends? Like, could I do a Let's Play with 3 other people and it's a jump in, jump out situation? Like, it might be on an invite-based system or you party up, then you boot the game up, but could that be a thing? Like, could you always be running around with up to 3 people in the world of Pokemon? That would be so sick, but I'm going to hold my breath on that one because that might be too wild of a dream. And here we go, so they all gather. It's as if they almost go into like a dreamlike state and then they wake up in this new place, which I think is really cool. Nice Raichu. Yeah. So what was interesting is there seemed to be some kind of shield over there, which I don't really know what that means. Like, I don't know if you have to break a barrier with a super effective move and then the barrier falls and then you can actually get the Pokemon. It'll be interesting to see what kind of mechanics they employ in this because there could be some really, really interesting turn-based stuff. I feel like I should probably full screen this, right? There we go. That's so cool. I love that you recall the Pokemon, then you get this giant holographic ball to Dynamax them, and then you make the almighty Raichu just absolutely huge. That's sick. So cool. And of course, big boy versus big boy, super effective against water, big attacks. So there we go. The Gyarados is now basically like, you know, weakened. I'm assuming there'll be a health bar for it and whatnot. Although, maybe they could go down the Monster Hunter route of having to recognize its behaviors. But that seems like it would be a little bit of a stretch and a little bit too much manual work for the literal hundreds of Pokemon that we have now. And then, of course, you get a chance to capture the big boy by lobbing out a giant holographic ball. And away it goes. Look how heavy, how weighty it looks. And these are really, really cool. So a couple of things that I want to touch on real quick. They'll address them later on and we can discuss them in a bit more detail. But apparently in the Galar region, Pokemon fighting is like almost like a spectator sport. It's very, very, very popular for the citizens of that sort of, you know, zone or area. So it seems as though most of the gyms that we've had a flyover of all seem to be these very large stadiums. Like you'll see in a second here, we get like a little bit where it's almost like showing you the TV lens, like the framing of the cameraman to show you that it is like a televised situation. Like, there you go. So you can see the sort of the I recognize what that Pokemon silhouette is, but I couldn't tell you what it is. But basically, that's flying around almost like a drone to capture what's going on. This guy's a grass-type gym leader, which we learn about in just a moment. You can see how massive his grin is. Like, I get some real One Piece vibes off of this guy, which is awesome. And then, of course, we've obviously got more Dynamax Pokemon, or Dynamax, I think it's pronounced, Pokemon. We'll get all the lingo in a moment. That large one there that he has as well, the massive, like, cotton ball one, that is actually an evolution of one of the 3 that we were introduced to a moment ago, which, again, it goes into detail. By the way, this song is thumping. I really like this. And there's the current Pokemon champion, Leon, and he has a Charizard. Nice little tease. Digging it. Gen 1.
Hello. I'm Masuda from Game Freak.
So then we get the introduction from our 2 boys.
I'm Omori from Game Freak.
Hello, Omori. Hello, Masuda.
What did you think of the
Konnichiwa.
video?
It's pretty dope, honestly.
Today, we would like to deliver the latest news on Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield to all of you around the world, right here from Game Freak's offices where development is underway.
Yeah. It's always awkward being on camera when somebody else talks, isn't it? Like, really awkward. I love this, by the way. This idea that there were going to be some, like, sacred Diglett runes, or ruins, should I say. I like that look. Some of these places look absolutely humongous as well.
You can take on the role of the main character, who resides in the Galar region.
Yep.
After choosing group
That's it, Grookey. Grookey's got my bet. Like, Grookey, I picked a grass type in my very first Pokemon. Pokemon Blue, Bulbasaur, and ever since then, as long as I like the design of the Pokemon, I've always gone grass, because it's great. And the fact that it's mixture of, I'm assuming, Groot, as in, you know, I am Groot, it's kind of got that planty vibe, and also Monkey, puts it together. And of course, my favourite animal, if you don't know, is the tree kangaroo. So this is just, like, the closest thing I'm going to get. Honestly.
Score Bunny, or
Oh, it's Score Bunny. Did I say? What did I say earlier on? I think I said Baneri.
Sobble as your first partner
Sobble,
Pokemon,
that was it.
You will embark on an adventure to become the champion.
Yep.
Your journey will take you through vast and lush grasslands.
Look how nice that starting town is, dude. It's really pleasant. I love that it has like the cascading hills that you see in like the English countryside as well. Very cool.
Towns in which you will find humans and Pokemon working together, and many other locations filled with rich personality.
For a moment there, I thought those were the Olympic rings, because obviously where the Olympics is going to Japan next year, I just didn't know whether that was going to be a reference there. I don't think it was.
Pokemon battles are the most popular form of entertainment in the Galar region.
Man.
Stadiums across the Galar region are frequently filled with cheering crowds that have gathered to witness battles between gym leaders and challengers.
Okay, there's a point that I want to make here, but I'm going to wait for them to say it.
The excitement of these battles is often broadcast on television in the Galar region as well.
Yeah. Give me the other bit.
The most exciting part of visiting a new region is, of course, encountering Pokemon.
Oh, okay, so they haven't mentioned it just yet, but there seems to be some sort of teasing wording in there about like how the crowd gets really riled up and really hyped up. I'm wondering if there are going to be any kind of like attribute bonuses or something like that if you actually do moves that are like crowd pleasers, because we've had those kind of like fashion shows in the past, haven't we, inside of Pokemon. I'm wondering if they're going to bring that mechanic into the gym battles. It's a bit unlikely, but I don't know, the wording just seems a little bit suggestive.
That you've never seen before. To tell you more about some of the Pokemon that reside in the Galar region, I'd like to hand it over to James, the art director on these games.
Hey, Jamie.
Here we go then, introduction to our new four.
I'm James Turner from Game Freak.
What up, James?
I worked as the art director.
Very awkward cut.
There are a lot of never-before-seen Pokemon that await you in the Galar region.
That was all of about 15 words, and we had to split it into 3 takes. Okay.
But allow me to introduce...
I mean, I guess not everybody's an on-camera person, but I mean, you could remember that sentence, right? Like, but you live and breathe this game. You could easily say those lines.
Introduce you to just a few of them.
What's with the long and awkward cuts? Is it they were like, okay, guys, we've got to pad this out to 15 minutes. Rather than us just putting, like, you know, an extra clip of gameplay in there, let's just hold these long pauses between the cuts.
The first Pokemon I'd like to show you
Here we go.
Wooloo.
Wooloo.
This Pokemon's defining characteristic is its fluffy fur, which is treasured by weavers in a town in the Galar region, who use it to craft popular specialty goods.
Popular specialty goods? That's not actually that specific. I wonder if that's going to hint towards there are going to be more clothes inside of Pokemon than ever before. Fingers crossed they do, because I do feel like we get some range of... of clothing inside of the games, but I would like way more customizability, if I'm honest.
Pokemon here is Gossifleur.
I'm sort of noting all these down.
Pokemon.
So yeah, this is basically the smaller version of the large cotton bud type Pokemon that we saw a moment ago. So this is like its, you know, first stage. Don't know if it has a third just yet, but cool to know it does evolve.
Gossifleur favors places with clean air and water, and its pollen is said to have healing properties.
Okay.
This next Pokemon is called Dreadnought.
Dreadnought. What a name, dude.
Pokemon.
Dreadnought's very cool. I'm quite surprised that they don't have a G inside of there. So I'm surprised it's not Dredgnaw, because normally if you gnaw on something, I'm pretty sure that's how it's spelt out. And it's a bite Pokemon. I'm trying to think of what I would hazard its type as being. Because of course with it looking a little bit turtley and stuff, you would expect it to be some aspect of water. But it seems as though it's more kind of ground, I guess.
The sharp...
I guess speaking about Wooloo a moment ago as well, I'm guessing Wooloo's going to be normal. Of course, Gossifleur is going to live in that kind of grass / fairy / maybe poison, but probably not, kind of region. And yeah, Dreadnought, I'm thinking, is probably going to be ground / rock. Maybe steel as well, because he does mention steel just now.
jagged edges of its jaw allow it to bite off chunks of rock and iron.
So I mean rock
Its
and iron.
vicious nature makes it a difficult Pokemon to tame for all but the most experienced trainers. This Pokemon that can be seen flying steadily through the sky.
So this is the transport one.
Corviknight.
Corviknight. That's quite a long name for a Pokemon, honestly. Like having the whole word of night in there. Like I'm surprised they didn't call it like Corvite or something. Like Corviknight is quite wordy.
Its skills to use when working as a flying taxi, which will take the player back to any town he or she has previously visited.
Now, it says take them back to a town that they previously visited, so maybe these taxis aren't going to be located in just the major points of interest. Maybe they're going to be just dotted around on, like, roads and stuff, or, like, maybe they'll be in, like, the smaller little villages that don't necessarily have that much going on. They're kind of more of a pass-through and a Pokemon Center location. Maybe.
As many of you already know, some Pokemon can evolve, changing their appearance
Here
and
it
becoming
comes.
stronger in the process.
Yeah. Let's have it. Gossifleur.
is one of these Pokemon.
Really like the design.
When Gossifleur evolves,
It becomes... Here's the name.
it becomes Eldegoss.
Eldegoss. Nice name, dude.
As you can
Digging
see,
that.
there are now small seeds scattered across its fuzzy head.
Yep. That big old throw.
These seeds are said to promote growth in plants and can revitalize both people and Pokemon.
Wow, okay.
That's all I can show you this time. There are lots more Pokemon living in the Galar region for you to discover. Of course, you can...
I guess now I've just realised that maybe he's talking slowly because Japanese tends to be a more wordy language, so maybe he's having to talk slowly and have these awkward pauses to make space for the narration from the Japanese side of things, but I don't know.
Look forward to finding many Pokemon you're already familiar with.
Yeah, our old friends.
I hope you're as excited as we are to encounter the amazing variety of Pokemon that inhabit the Galar region.
Cool, not bad. Again, back out into these massive open landscapes. So far we've had, what, like 5 Pokemon confirmed there. We've had an additional 3 shown off, which is, over, of course, the starters. I'm surprised we didn't actually get to see maybe the first evolutionary stage of the starters, or even a little bit more. We do get to see the legendaries towards the end as well, so sit tight for that. So it seems as though all of these raids as well have these huge beacons, so you know exactly where they are, even if you don't have a line of sight on them.
Meeting lots of Pokemon is one of the thrills of the adventure. And where you will find the widest variety of Pokemon out of anywhere in the Galar region is in a place called the Wild Area.
Okay. This part I
This
didn't see.
wild area stretches between cities and is filled with abundant nature as far as the eye can see.
Cool.
Different Pokemon can appear depending on where you are and what the weather is like,
Right.
meaning there will be new discoveries for you each day.
Oh, wow.
Some of you may already have noticed, but while adventuring through this area, you have control over the camera, allowing you to better search for items and Pokemon. Search far and wide in the tall grass, in the skies above, and even in the lakes.
I'm still struggling to decide whether the Pokemon are going to be roaming around or if they are going to be wild encounters in the bushes. Maybe it's a hybrid. Maybe it's a case of the average Pokemon for that area that will always spawn regardless of time, day, weather, etc. Will just always be in the bush and they're a random chance. But then maybe obviously these ones that are more specific to the environmental changes, maybe they will actually be visible and moving. Who knows?
For you never know what you might find. In certain locations in the Galar region, a new phenomenon can be triggered that makes a Pokemon giant in size and gives it incredible strength.
Here it comes.
This phenomenon is called Dynamaxing.
Yeah, Dynamax,
Dynamaxing
gotcha.
opens up new possibilities in the heated battles performed by trainers and their Pokemon. For more details, I would like to turn it over to Iwao, the planning director for the games.
I tell you what I find really interesting is... not only, of course, Raichu is obviously a slightly larger Pokemon, and it's a second stage Pokemon, but in a moment we actually get to see that even, like, Grookey and all the other ones, I think we may have even seen it earlier on as well, like, even your starter Pokemon can Dynamax upwards, which is kind of weird, so I don't know if Dynamaxing will be bound to a Pokemon, or if you can just use the wrist and then just attach it to one Pokemon at a time, because it kind of suggested that you would do the raids to get Pokemon that can Dynamax, so... I don't know, maybe it's a case of your starter will definitely get it, but any future Pokemon you have to get from the 4-player sections. Big old Raichu.
Hi, I'm Iwao from Game Freak and
up,
the planning
Iwao?
director for Pokemon Sword and Pokemon
I
Shield.
really like Japanese names. They're really cool.
Let me tell you more about the new Dynamax feature.
Hit me with
which
it,
will
bro.
surely bring about all new strategies to Pokemon battles.
I didn't see much about this, so this is part that I missed.
Pokemon from the Galar region can Dynamax to not only become massive in size, but also boost their power.
So are we doing away with Mega Evolutions then? Is that gone? Or is this just going to be like, they can now do everything? Like if you pass a Pokemon forward through the games, which I hope you could do, like transfer Pokemon from the previous game to this one, I wonder if you can... Oh no, maybe not. Oh no, because I guess you got the Pokemon Bank. Let me know what you think. It is strange how it goes into this weird otherworldly state. I wonder if that happens only when a Pokemon Dynamaxes, or if it's particular battles cause that.
All the moves they know turn into powerful max moves.
Actually, having said that, just examining the two characters that are stood on the ground, it does seem as though that this is like a player versus player 1v1 battle. It's not you fighting an NPC. So maybe whenever you do these battles online or using LAN, maybe it does just put you into this otherworldly area, and like the crowd looks kind of generic. There's no type representation in the crowds by the looks of it, of like, you know, Pokemon. So this could just be what the PvP aspect looks like.
Dynamaxing can be used once per battle. However, the Pokemon will revert to normal after 3 turns.
Okay.
So, you need to choose wisely when to trigger it.
Sure.
Mastering Dynamax will be key to becoming a full-fledged Pokemon.
How much did you just want one of the little fish in the tank to just suddenly like evolve into a Gyarados and just tail whip this guy out the screen? Just something really, really unexpected, like using like the new Detective Pikachu graphics or something. That'd be, oh, they should have done that. They could have just had like a Machamp walking past the back of the glass, you know, like in Romeo and Juliet, the one with Leonardo DiCaprio, and just have him wander by.
Trainer in these games.
So funny.
Remember that wild area we told you about?
Yeah.
If you connect to other players, you'll find more ways to play there.
Cool.
One of these new multiplayer features is called Max Raid Battles.
Any additional accessories may be required for... additional accessories may be required for multiplayer mode, game system, and some accessories sold separately. Are we going to need accessories to do these raids? Or is it more saying like, hey, you're probably going to need Wi-Fi?
This is called Max Raid Battles.
The Max
in which
Raid
4
Battles.
Pokemon trainers can join forces to challenge wild Dynamax Pokemon.
Sure. Now the question is, do you need 4 in order to participate, or is it just like ideal to have 4, but if you were beasting it with 3, you could get through?
In Max Raid Battles, the wild Dynamax Pokemon keeps its giant form for the entire battle.
Sure.
Not only that, it also has special powers that make it an extremely formidable opponent. Only one of these 4 players who have teamed up for the Max Raid battle will be able to Dynamax their Pokemon in each battle. So coordinating with your team will be crucial when taking on these powerful wild Pokemon.
Right, so only one of the 4 can actually Dynamax their Pokemon. Interesting. It seemed as though as well that, I can't remember what the Pokemon's called now. It's called Sweevil or something, the one that we're up against. But it seems as though most of its attacks tend to hit all 4 Pokemon at once, which is devastating. Alright, go on, big old punch.
If you and your allies manage to emerge victorious, you will get a chance to
Oh, it's Weevil. What did I say? Sweevil. Yeah, close.
capture the Pokemon in a truly dynamic catch sequence.
Interesting. So the only options in the bottom right corner of the screen there were catch and don't catch. I don't know if that's after you've clicked on, like, you know, the item or something. Or maybe it's just a case of you just battle until it gets low.
The Pokemon that you can take on in Max Raid Battles also vary.
That's a good point. Will you be able to flee from these encounters? My guess is probably not. It'll be like a raid in an MMORPG. You either wipe or you succeed. There's no really in between.
Depending on where you are in the wild area and the state of the weather. Among these different Pokemon
Wait, what was that?
are some
I
that
missed
can
that
only
little
be
bit.
caught in the state of the weather. The Pokemon that you can take on in Max Raid Battles also vary depending on where you are in the wild area and the state of the weather.
Okay, cool. So I'm wondering actually if those beacons that lead you to these Max Raid battles, whether they will reset. So obviously you perform it, the column of light, the beacon disappears, but obviously the platform remains, and then the next time you go to that area in a different time of day or a different weather state, whether that beacon will reactivate. I'm sure it will do.
Among these different Pokemon are some that can only be caught after you defeat them in Max Raid Battles. So we hope trainers will join forces and test their skills against a variety of Pokemon.
So there are going to be Pokemon locked behind these raid battles. That's putting a lot of faith in people wanting to do the raids together. I guess we're going to have to do some real looking for group on like Discord or something like that.
Max Raid battles feature strategic, cooperative 4-player gameplay against a single Pokemon, which is a first for the main series of Pokemon games.
True.
It's going to be a ton of fun to use your Nintendo Switch system's local wireless functionality to tackle these battles with friends in person and experience the excitement together. You can also connect with other players over the internet to enjoy...
Oh, don't do that to me. First I was like, you can only do raid battles in LAN. I was like, I don't have 3 friends that live near me that play Pokemon. Jesus.
Playing with other trainers from all around the globe.
Of course, that's going to be pushed. I reckon probably November of this year when the game comes out is going to be probably the first big spike of Nintendo Switch Online memberships.
So I hope you'll try Max Raid battles with all sorts of other players.
I wonder how that will work then. I wonder if it will be a case of you do it on a friends list system, or maybe you can like be in your own single player world, and then you go over to the beacon, it tells you, hey, this is going to be a big old Doug trio, and then you can say like, let's battle, or you can say invite friends, or maybe you can say like open group to network or open group to public. I'm wondering how you can do that. I don't know if it's a case of you have to gather friends together, then go over to it together, and then just get whatever you take. Like, it might not even tell you what's inside of it. It might just have a beacon, you click on it, and away you go. Like, you don't actually have any inkling as to what Pokemon lives within it, but it would be cool if that was a thing. So if, like, say I needed specifically a massive, I don't know, a massive Wobbuffet or whatever it be, or a massive Raichu, I could maybe go on to, like, looking for group and say, hey, I'm a trainer looking for Raichus. Is anybody else looking for a Raichu? And they go, yeah, I am. And then you jump in. Or it might go like, here are all of the available open lobbies for Raichu right now. I don't know. Awkward fisticuffs. Alright, let's meet some characters.
Next, I would like to introduce some of the people you'll encounter on your adventure.
Yeah. Leon first, everybody.
This guy is the greatest trainer in the Galar region, and also the current champion. His name is Leon.
It's interesting that he has the sword and shield on his chest as well. And what's kind of cool, and kind of backs up that whole kind of, British vibe to it, is the fact that it's your blue, whites, and reds on the shirt, which is cool.
In a region...
Not sure about the old beard. I'm not feeling that.
Where Pokemon battles are so widely enjoyed, his undefeated record in official matches is all the more incredible.
Yep.
His popularity is only enhanced by his shining personality, winning him the adoration of trainers across the region.
Oh my god, she's literally about to bawl. She is going to pass out. Someone catch her.
It's no exaggeration to say that he is the most prominent trainer in all of Galar. The champion has a younger brother, who also happens to be one of your rivals.
Here he comes.
His name is Hop.
Hop!
Hop dreams to one day become champion, just like his elder brother.
I really like Hop's look, just saying, I really like it.
And he trains vigorously every day towards this goal.
Nice.
His journey through the Galar region begins on the same day as yours.
Cool.
On your journey, you and Hop will receive...
So, they did mention a moment ago, I swear it said he's one of your many rivals, or one of your rivals, so I'm wondering if there are going to be other prominent key characters that are on the similar kind of journey to us, because I doubt it will be just the two of us.
A great deal of support from these two characters.
Oh, she's my new waifu, not her, the redhead.
Professor Magnolia is the professor of the Galar region and specializes in researching the Dynamax...
They've all got this thing with it, like twiddling. Everyone's quite like... I don't know, everyone's quite fiddly.
Phenomenon. Sonia is her granddaughter and also serves as her assistant. Their abundant wisdom and sound advice will surely come in handy throughout...
See what I mean? She's doing this with her hair. I noticed that before, and then upon rewatching it, old Magnolia can't help but fiddle as well. Must be like a family trait.
Your adventure.
What's next? Ah, the gym. All right, here we go. This might mention the thing I was talking about the crowd hype.
Next, I would like to talk about the Pokemon gyms in the Galar region.
Give it to me.
You and your rival will need to take on the Pokemon gyms throughout the region in order to achieve your goal of becoming champion.
Yeah.
These gym stadiums are constructed in very special
Look
locations
how massive
that allow
that
for
is.
Pokemon to be
That's
dynamized.
unreal.
The gym leaders
What's it
also
called?
have
Eldegoss.
extremely powerful Dynamax Pokémon on their teams, so you will need to counter them with some of your own.
I can't remember if it's been clarified, but I know it said in the max raid that only one person could do Dynamax per encounter. Is that the same for the trainers as well? As in, like, the gym fights and stuff? I feel like they might have mentioned it, that it goes after 3 turns, and I feel like they said only one Pokemon could do it, but I'm not 100% sure.
Battles
that
between
massive
2
Grookey.
Dynamax Pokémon are explosive, and will cause the energy and excitement in the stadium to reach its peak.
There, energy and excitement to reach its peak. I'm wondering if there's some kind of, like, limit break. Because they've really emphasized the audience as, like, spectated on this.
Let me introduce one of the gym leaders to you.
This guy seems
This is
cool.
the grass-type expert, Milo.
Milo. He has no nose, but it's fine. Freckles make up for it.
This gym leader is all about enjoying battles alongside his trusted
I tell you what, he strikes a bearing resemblance to a Bulbasaur. I mean, maybe that's intentional, like, because he's a grass type, but the whole little, like, let me load up an image of Bulbasaur real quick. I swear Bulbasaur had a little bit of a, he did, yeah, Bulbasaur had this little, like, patchy thing going on his forehead. I think he's themed around Bulbasaur, you know, dude.
trustworthy Pokémon, and you will have to overcome his tenacious fighting style to continue your journey.
Dude is ripped as well.
Look forward to facing many more heated battles against gym leaders over the course of your adventure.
I'll be honest, we have gotten a lot more information in this direct than I really anticipated. I'm very pleasantly surprised. But this could also be the last information that we get. Obviously, with this being kind of the E3 window, this is basically their E3 presentation. And we get nothing now until November, probably.
Shown off quite a bit today, but I have one more video I would like you to see.
There's always one more.
Please take a look.
Here comes the Animal Crossing crossover. Can you imagine? Give us housing! Oh, no, okay, it's this. Yeah, okay, I have seen this. So this is basically now going to be the poster Pokemon. So Shield is the one that we're looking at right there. And then in the very One Piece Zorro style, we've got our old sword boy here. Really like that. Go, Roronoa! Initially, I don't know how I feel about the designs on these. I've always quite liked that there's a slightly drastically different design to the 2 of these Pokemon. And I do wonder if there's going to be some strange kind of, fusion thing that can happen between the 2 of them. It's unlikely, but I don't know. It's just weird that they look so similar. Like, I'm used to, all of the legendaries having vastly different appearances. See, now this bit's a little bit, spooky. Like, what's going on here? I want to know what that external threat is that has them both quaking. Because they're legendaries as well. Ooh, I don't know. Maybe it's like Sword, Shield, and Mace. Like, maybe there's some weird third legendary. Or, I don't know, Lancer. Could be anything. But that's definitely teasing at something.
The 2 Pokemon you saw in the video just now are in fact legendary Pokemon of the Galar region.
Yeah.
Called Zacian and Zamazenta.
They are quite different names. Zacian and Zamazenta. They're quite... normally when they localize the names for the Western audience, they're more familiar in terms of their namings. I mean, maybe somebody can break down what the, the first half and the last half is. For example, you have, Charmander, charring something is to do with flames, and then Manda was always to do with salamander, and then Charmeleon was a chameleon, and so on and so forth. But yeah, I don't feel like as though I recognize the naming convention on these. They do look cool, though.
Look forward to discovering for yourself just
one day Pokemon games will look like this, and it's going to be so good.
what role Zacian and Zamazenta will play in the story.
I hope you enjoyed today's Pokemon Direct.
All done.
Of course, what we revealed today is just a small part of what you will find in Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield. There are many more Pokemon and interesting characters for you to discover in the Galar region.
Yeah.
We're putting everything we've got here at Game Freak into making Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield a game that everyone around the world will enjoy.
Nice. I really like I mean, I don't know if there's something beneath the clouds on the world map of the Galar region, but I do like this very, like, top-down, or sorry, working bottom-upwards approach to designing the world. And given how vast the landscapes are, whatever that huge city sort of area is towards the top, that is going to be humongous given the size of the wilds that we have between the various towns already. So, oh boy, we're in for a treat.
Please look forward to it.
Yeah! Is there anything else after this, or is it just a quick
Thanks
wrap
to
out?
all of our guests from Game Freak. Finally, I would like to announce the release date.
Oh yeah, of course. This is very,
Pokemon
very
Sword
important.
And Pokemon Shield will be available on November 15th, 2019.
A little bit underwhelmed by the box art, and also I'm a little bit triggered at the, like, I love the Pokemon Shield logo because it feels centered, but the Sword one pushes it so far off to the side, and the asymmetry is, like, throwing me off.
As a global simultaneous release.
Nice. Simultaneous
Starting
release is
today,
good.
You can pre-order a special...
It's not going to be like the last game where I had to buy the Japanese version. I think it was of Let's Go, actually. I had to buy the Japanese version, and I had to basically, like, install it on my Switch and then choose English from the languages on the Japanese version. It was weird that that was even a possibility. Like, yeah, I thought it was odd. A double pack, again. I don't understand what the double pack's about. Like, is anybody that desperate to play both? They're going to be near identical.
Double pack. Stay tuned for more
I guess if you have,
information.
like, 2 kids, or if
I
you're a
hope
real
you will look
fanatic, then that
forward
works
to
well.
New Pokemon adventure in the Galar region. Thank you for watching.
Fair enough. There it is then, everybody. Pokemon Sword and Shield due out on November 15th, 2019. I'm very, very excited for this game. I don't really feel like I have too much speculation off the tail end of that. I feel as though throughout the course of this video, I've sort of paused and stopped and chopped and changed and sort of let you know where my mind is at and where all my questions are. So, if you have any information to enlighten me on certain things, then do let me know in the comment section below. If you want to see more stuff like this, particularly during the E3 period, then do let me know. Say like, hey Martin, react to this and send me a link to whatever trailer it is you want me to take a look at. There are some of the live streams that I'm going to miss because I've been wanting to live stream my reactions to these E3 presentations over the course of the week and the weekend, but it's Cav's birthday on Saturday. We're going for a barbecue at his, so I don't know if that clashes with any of them. And yeah, other than that, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully November of this year is when we can get tucked into a brand new Let's Play on this channel, as long as everything's still going all right on the first channel. And yeah, this is basically where you're going to be able to find it. So if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe. If you've watched the video this far, then you can definitely leave a like on it. I've been going for what? 37 minutes, my god. So yeah, this was just a very impromptu reaction piece. Let me know if you want to see more of it in the future. Have a great day, everybody, and bye-bye. Bye.